how's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for hopping on into the live stream tonight. How are you doing? Making sure everything is good and ready to go. All right, thank you so much. How are you guys doing this afternoon? We are going to be talking about the Insidious franchise tonight, and this will not be just a members-only video. This will actually be just an everyday video from me. I wanted to really dive into the discussion of the franchise itself. I own every single one of them on Blu-ray. I really do enjoy it. But I really feel like I haven't had the chance to really sit down and talk about that franchise specifically a whole lot, and I thought what would be fun would be to go ahead and talk about it. This is public, right? No one's being notified about it. That's what I guarantee is happening right now. No one's being notified about the live stream, which I should just come to the real and acceptance that it's never going to notify anybody. I'll give it a few minutes, let people join in. Esther, thank you so much for hopping on in. Glad you can make it. Hell yeah. One of those random live streams that, you just feel the need to go live every once in a while, and you do it. Joseph, how are you doing? Thank you so much for hopping on in. I think I'm the only people here so far. You were a second ago. Sorry about that, guys. It kind of is delayed a little bit, which hopefully you can forgive. Great, you doing great, Joseph? Awesome to hear it, man. Okay, it's 2 people watching. Hit that like button, guys. Make sure that's the first thing you do. It lets people know that I'm live a lot faster than just sitting around. So, yeah, let people know that I'm live right now by clicking that like button. And also, if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel. We like talking about horror films, diving into deep subjects like the paranormal, cryptids, and things like that. Aliens, for example. We love talking about aliens and stuff. So, yeah, please let me go ahead and message somebody and, yeah, hop on in while you still can. Before we get started with the discussion, I'm going to talk about every single film in the franchise. So if you love the Insidious franchise, yeah, please. Anna John, hey, how are you doing? Have you ever seen the old horror movie, John Carpenter's The Fog? I have, man. I have. I'm just waiting for people to hop on in here, man. Come on. Guys, if you're hopping on in, let me know by chatting in the chat section right next to us, and let us know that you're hopping on in here. This is going to be a fun conversation. I don't think I've ever had like a full-on conversation about the Insidious movies. I will be staying up all night today because I'm so happy. Ooh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Hell yeah. Huh. Okay, we got 6 people watching now. Hell yeah, guys. I'm not really jacked up on coffee. It's getting there, though. Joseph, love the beginning about the day of the April 20... Love the beginning about the day of April the 21st. Oh, yeah. I forgot today is 420. I forgot all about that, actually. It just kind of slipped by my mind. Was too focused in thinking about the Insidious trailer I watched yesterday. Which that trailer reaction is now out. If you guys haven't watched the reaction, please go watch that trailer reaction and give it love. From the movie. Oh, yeah. I completely... Dude, it's been like so long since I've seen John Carpenter's The Fog. I know I just really loved it when I saw it back, like, probably several years ago. I'd say I probably watched The Fog when I was probably, like, coming right out of high school. So, yeah, it's a little bit foggy in my mind, no pun intended, but it's one of those ones I really got to go ahead and rewatch. Maybe I'll do a movie revisit at some point for Patreon. Get that going back in my mind. Okay, we got 3 people watching right now. 3 fucking people. No one has been notified. Hey, cool dude. Thank you so much for hopping on in. Some other people are making it now. Awesome. Yeah, stick around, guys. I'm just waiting for more people to hop on into the live stream because it'd be kind of boring to have this conversation with just a few people. But YouTube, of course, is not notifying anybody that I'm live. So I kind of just have to wait it out and see how many people hop on in really soon. If they start getting notified, you're going to see like 10, 20 people hop on in. So I'm waiting for that moment. So just bear with me a little bit. We're going to be talking about the Insidious franchise, I promise you, and where I want the franchise to go. Because, in all honesty, It's not a franchise to talk about a whole lot, but it's a franchise I really admire for what it is. Foggy. Yeah, my mind's a little foggy. And by the way, while you're waiting, here, I'm gonna ask a poll really quick. Let me go ahead and ask a poll. Engage with your audience. Yeah, let's go ahead and start a poll really quick. Okay, let me go ahead and ask. There we go. Let's go ahead and ask the community this question. This is a pretty good question to ask, I think, everybody. Favorite of the franchise so far? You got Insidious, Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious Chapter 3, and Insidious Last Key. Which one of those is your personal favorite of the franchise? I think we know which one's going to win, but it's a fun thing to ask just in case. Insidious Chapter 2 just tied it out with Insidious 1. Nice. Mike, thank you so much for making it, man. It's going pretty good. Thank you for asking. We're going to be diving into a deep subject about the Insidious franchise. I haven't done it yet because I'm waiting for more people to hop on in. But again, if you guys are hopping on and have not hit that like button, hit the like button. It lets people know faster what I plan on doing tonight. Because there's not... YouTube's not notifying anybody, so that's a problem. So we need more people to hop on in here, but there's no one being notified. So please hit that like button. Let me know that you're checking out my live stream by commenting in the comment section. I asked the community which is your favorite of the franchise so far, and then we'll talk about the first film and then go down from there. And then we'll talk about possibly that TV series they wanted to make a while back. I just took a selfie live. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I feel that's a good thing when you feel comfortable enough to actually take a selfie live in front of your audience. That's how you know you have a good community. My little brother is watching you. Could you say hi, Wyatt? Hey, Wyatt, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for hopping on in. Glad you can make it to the live stream. I cuss, by the way. If you, I'm gonna try to avoid cussing, but it's something that just happens, especially when I get passionate about talking about things. So I hope he's okay with hearing a few cuss words. If not, please don't let him watch me. Thank you for making it to the live stream, man. I appreciate it, though. Okay, we got 5 people, 11 views. We have 11 people watching. Hopefully it's not just a false alarm. Was watching a bizarre horror movie called Weed Wolf on YouTube. It's a free movie. Sounds like a free movie, if I had to be honest with you. Oh my gosh. That's going to bother me now. YouTube is not notifying anybody that I'm live. You know how sucky that is? YouTube, you piece of shit. I just notify people that I'm live. That's fine. I got ways to get around this. Got to do everything yourself. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Now let's hope that works because it was not working. Peachy! You were notified. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. No one's being notified, Peachy. It's an issue. It's a problem. And also, my internet is red right now, which is not a good thing either. Hopefully, it kind of fixes itself, but if it doesn't, I apologize if there's any lag with the live stream or anything along those lines. Okay, you were notified. Peachy was notified. Never mind, there's 3. I was just notified too. Awesome. Okay, at least you guys were notified. That's a good sign. I'm glad to see that. But yeah, Most of everybody is not being notified. And there you go, back to green. Thank you, internet. Good golly. Did anyone see the Godzilla Kong? I have not watched it. I thought about doing a reaction, though. Hey, Harley hopped on in. Thank gosh. More people are hopping on in. Oh, they're just busy. It's late for a lot of people. No, that's no excuse. Sorry. No, I'm not going to let that be an excuse tonight. No. You're right, though. You're right. But hey, hopefully more people do hop on in, though, because especially the people, and again, some people are not notified. There are some people who won't get notified until like tomorrow morning, which is crazy to see. But I shared it on the community, so whoever makes it, makes it. If they don't, it's okay. I'm going to keep the video up for everybody to watch. So I want to go ahead and start talking about the first Insidious movie, which I do believe to be and I know a lot of people, Jennifer and Mr. Ink hopped on in. Good shit. I love to see it. Thank you guys so much for hopping on in. Hit that like button, by the way. And I'm going to take another selfie. Again, I said it earlier. You know you have a good community when you feel comfortable with taking a selfie in front of them. It's not really rude. I'm not a rude person, I swear to God. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it. We're going to be diving into a conversation about the Insidious, the new one obviously, but I want to go ahead and talk about the franchise and what I loved about the franchise and the things I hate about the franchise. And there's a couple things. Well, we're going to get into that conversation right now. So with the first Insidious movie, and as I was saying, I do hold it to be I think a modern day classic. I know a lot of people do. Extreme close-up, Ernesto. Hey, Jordan, what's up? By the way, I do personally think that the second Insidious is better, but the first one is more iconic. I'm going to get into that, too. I actually do like the second Insidious more than the first one. I think the first one is more iconic. That was actually exactly what I was going to say. To me, the first one is a modern-day classic. I think everything it does, it handles very well. Obviously, having James Wan behind the camera helps out a lot. And I said it in my video, my short, and my afterthoughts of the new Insidious trailer reaction. I said that I think every time James Wan steps away from a project or a franchise that he's been a part of, I really do think that it starts killing off everything that he had established with the franchise, and everything good that was coming out of the franchise is slowly kind of starting to degrade. I feel like that happens all the time. It happened with the Conjuring franchise, and it certainly happened with the Insidious franchise. Insidious Chapter 3 and Insidious The Last Key are really not even close to how well made that the first two Insidious movies are. And even those movies are kind of silly in a sense, but that was kind of the point anyways. And I really feel like the third and fourth one went a little bit too silly. And not only that, but the villains in the movies just kind of started getting lamer and almost too similar in a sense. Like the Last Key villain and the man who can't breathe, or whatever his name was from the third movie, really aren't too different in a sense. Like, at the end of the day, they kind of just have the same vibe, and they're as forgettable as each other, if I had to be honest. I really don't remember too much. But Insidious Chapter 2, and in the first Insidious movie, where you get introduced to the lipstick-faced demon and the woman in black, those two villains are terrifying. And in the second movie, when they dive into the backstory of the woman in black, or the lady in black, it's unsettling. I watched the second one in theaters, and I remember I had a nightmare the night after. It was that good, and it was that chilling to me. And of course, you know, James Wan working his magic behind the camera with those close-up shots of like the scary woman. Like, I don't know if I can recapture everything that was scary about the moment that I remember from Insidious Chapter 2, but I'll say this right now. There was a moment when like I'm gonna try to put you in the same, where the woman in black is like choking the wife, and she's just sitting there ha 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 laughing, and it's like a close-up of her face, and it's like going back and forth between Patrick Wilson's face and then the woman in black, and it's an unsettling moment, and it creeped me out. And it was one of those moments in the theater where I was like, one of the most memorable parts of that entire franchise to me. And I remember everybody in the theater was like, oh, like the second they saw her face just laughing like that. Good shit. Hey, Karate Kid, how you doing? Thank you so much for hopping on in. Glad you could make it. Tom hopped on in. Good shit, guys. How are you doing today? And by the way, slay that like button. We're about to get into a really deep conversation about the first and second Insidious movies right now. The first Insidious movie, I would say, is one of the more well built up horror films of the franchise. The suspense, it's not really all jump scares. There's really a lot of building up that suspense in that movie, which I appreciate, especially, and I think the same thing I could say with the first Conjuring movie is what I could say almost about the first Insidious movie, is that it really knows how to build up that suspense, where the more the sequels kind of continued on, they really didn't care about building it up. They just kind of wanted to slap shit in your face, just like, oh, jump scare. And that's kind of what I really despise about how the movies continued. And I'm going to say right now that the Insidious franchise is better put together, I would say, than the Conjuring franchise at the moment. I think the Conjuring franchise just started going downhill in every aspect you can think of. I thought the first Annabelle movie was just a complete misstep, especially right after the first Conjuring movie was a complete misfire. And it did everything that normal, predictable horror films today do, cliched horror films do, which the only thing that was good about the first Annabelle movie was Annabelle the doll. The way the doll looked. Good. That's about it. That's about all I can give it. But the first Conjuring movie, kind of like the first Insidious movie, was unique. And it did a lot of the tropes, but better. It had a lot of tropes, but it did it better. And that's something I say about the Insidious movies too. But I also think the first Insidious is insanely creative and creepy. It's like a crime that there's no Universal Studios ride or like a theme park ride where you go into the further. Like that has to be a ride or something they've thought about for a while now. Like it has to be something, right? It's just a cool concept. And honestly, a scary concept. A world that takes place around our world right now, but we can't see it. That is a crazy, scary thought. Last Key should have been the last one. Maybe so, but if this one really, and look, I give franchises chances all the time, if I had to be honest. I do give franchises chances, especially ones where I know they're going downhill and they're not getting any better. Like, for example, the Jeepers Creepers franchise. I give those films another shot every time because I love that first one, and I really like the second one for the most part. But I always give it a shot, though I know I'm probably going to be extremely let down by the sequels. And I haven't even seen the new Jeepers Creepers yet, but I'm having hopes. I'm crossing my fingers, saying maybe I enjoy it at the end of the day. Who knows? But Jeepers Creepers 3, man, was one of the worst sequels I had ever seen, and I was really hoping it wasn't going to be. And I heard a lot of bad things about it beforehand, and I was just hoping. I had my fingers crossed the entire time. But I gotta say, when James Wan detached himself from the Insidious franchise, they really, again, and I mean this with a heavy heart, they went downhill. Every time, who directed the third movie? Wasn't it the same guy who directed one of the Annabelle movies? I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was it might have been one of the Paranormal Activity movies is what he directed. Let me go ahead and look up Insidious Chapter 3 really quick. I think it was... No, it was Leigh Whannell. Leigh Whannell who directed the movie. Okay, so that's who I wasn't thinking of. Insidious, The Last Key. Now, who directed that one? Because I know it wasn't anybody attached to... It was nobody attached to the franchise beforehand, to my knowledge. Adam, I think... Okay, this might be the guy I'm thinking of. I would not like Wikipedia. I would like IMDb, please. Let me go ahead and look at the director of... It's got a 5.7 out of 10. I gave that movie a 3 out of 10. Okay, this guy's directed some pretty well-known movies, actually. I'm kind of surprised. He directed Escape Room Tournament of Champions, which I actually heard some decent things about. He directed The Taking of Deborah Logan, which I have actually heard a lot of good things about that one. Okay, so he's directed a couple of good movies. I must have been thinking about someone else. No, you know who I was thinking? I was thinking about the Annabelle franchise. I wasn't even thinking about the Insidious franchise. But again... Yeah, I hope it will be good. Ernesto, going off topic, the Conjuring franchise is a masterpiece because it does have a great build-up. My only negative of the franchise is the first Annabelle and The Nun. Other than that, the other films are good. Besides The Nun, are the first Annabelle. Is James Wan helping with the new Insidious? Let me go ahead and look that up, because that would be a good question. I'm assuming he's producing it, at the most. So he might have a hand in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if because it's Patrick Wilson directing it, and I think this is Patrick Wilson's directorial debut, I wouldn't be surprised if James Wan had a hand in helping him maybe, make the film in some sort of way. But Patrick Wilson is directing it. Leigh Whannell is writing it, of course. So, and I'm pretty sure this is his directorial debut. I think this is his first time directing something. He might have directed something smaller in the past, but I think this is like his first actual No, this is his first movie. Okay. So this is Patrick Wilson's first movie. So that's going to be interesting. But I am going to guess that James Wan is a producer on it. He produced it, and so did Jason Blum. I got hope for it. I do. I think this is where the franchise should have gone to begin with. The Lambert family should have been exactly where the franchise continued, but instead they decided let's go back in reverse and start telling more about the fan favorite character, which was Elise, or something like that. What was her name? Elise? Maybe I'm having a brain aneurysm right now. I apologize. Let me go ahead and look up what the character's name is, because that's going to bother me. One of you guys is probably going to tell me in the audience right now, or the comment section, but that's fine. I'll look it up. Elise. Okay, so I was right, I think. I think I was right. Anybody else hopping on in? Dion, how are you doing? Thank you so much for making it to the live stream. Antagonist, the lipstick demon, or the lady in black? After this new movie, who knows? Maybe I'll say the lipstick demon, but right now I'm going to say the lady in black. The lady in black really kind of freaked me the fuck out. She actually scared the hell out of me. And then her mom. We're not even considering her mom. But I do think that, though the mom was actually the main antagonist of the movie, the lady in black really unsettled me. There's a moment in Insidious Chapter 2 that actually sticks with me. And I'm not sure if you guys remember this moment, but it was a moment when... What was his name? Something Crane. It was Something Crane. And that was the guy's name who killed himself at the hospital, or passed away at the hospital. He jumped from the window. That's what he did. He jumped from the window and he killed himself at the hospital. And without anybody knowing, apparently one of the nurses went into the elevator, and he walked up right next to her in a trench coat and went down the elevator with her, and then walked out and walked to the right, and she watched him go into another room or something. And then it was announced that he had killed himself the day before that. And it was one of the most... It makes my hair stand up every time. It's creepy. It's one of those ghost moments you just love. You love when you're watching a ghost moment. It's not like... There's no music. It's only elevator music. And it's just them going down an elevator. Not him just not talking. He's just standing there looking. And then he walks on, and that is it. It's one of the most unsettling parts of the entire film. And I love moments like that in, like, haunted house movies and stuff. It's just the simplicity of moments like that. There's no need for insane, like, jump scares or crazy looking faces or anything like that. It can be simple and yet effective. And I think the Insidious Chapter 1 and 2, they had a lot of simple moments, and then they had a lot of over the top crazy moments, especially like those scenes where Elise is like taking a chair and bashing in the mother's face with it, and then her face is like those over the top scream looking faces. It's fun, goofy. It's actually goofy fun, and in a sense, but it's done in such a way that it actually is kind of creepy and unsettling the way it's handled. And James Wan, again, if James Wan was not attached to the Insidious franchise in the beginning, I don't think it would have been as popular as a franchise as it is today. But I love Jonathan Crane. No, it wasn't Jonathan Crane. I think Jonathan Crane's the name of the Scarecrow character. I'm gonna look up Insidious Chapter 2 really quick, because that's gonna bother me now. I can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, that's probably the last great Insidious movies. Last great Insidious movie. I almost said Dalton for some reason. Parker. No, was it Parker? Was the last name Parker? Parker Crane. Parker Crane was the name. And then the mom's name is just Mother of Parker Crane, so that but yes, Parker Crane was probably my favorite villain in all of the Insidious movies by far. He was so creepy the way I don't think that actor gets... I'm going to give him a shout out, actually. I don't think that actor gets enough credit for what he did as the Lady in Black. He really did a good job. He was really unsettling, and he nailed it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he played someone else in another James Wan movie. He played the Bride in Black. Yep. Very cool. I think he did more than just that, though. No, I guess I was wrong. That's fine. That's fine. He left his stamp on that franchise. And again, I thought them going backwards by telling more of Elise was just a big mistake. I don't think we needed backstory on Elise. I think she was just effective as a side character. She was kind of, in my opinion, the Samuel Loomis of the Insidious franchise. You didn't really need to go far into her backstory and like everything that happened to her with the whole abuse thing and how people, of course, were telling her not to use her abilities because it was a freakish thing and that she shouldn't be doing it and things like that. I don't think we needed all that, to be honest with you. I think that was just it. I didn't really care. And I'm here. Tell me in details what I have missed. You haven't missed too much, Philip, and thank you so much for joining, man. My chilling experience on the second film, because I believe 12, I was 12 at the time, was the Parker Crane mother pops up and slaps the mother. Oh, yeah. Yep. Remind me of, really, oh yeah, where she yelled, like, don't you dare, and just slapped the mom and knocked her completely out. Fuck that shit, yeah. Reminds me of a really creepy scene in The Exorcist 3, a really quiet hospital scene with a couple of false jump scares and boom of headless statues. And gosh, I love this franchise. I love this franchise. It's so much fun. Yeah, not ignoring you, just taking a selfie in front of everybody. I was notified on Messenger. Good. Yeah, I sent that to the Messenger. I was hoping more people would see it. Oh, was Parker Crane that old guy that killed himself in the hospital? Yep, that was him. He was, at a young age, his mom really wanted a girl, so she would make him dress up like a girl all the time and talk like a girl and even try to change her name. What was the name? She was like, "Don't you dare! Your name is Elizabeth." I think it was Elizabeth. Taking selfies on stream, yeah, but you guys are okay with it, right? Yeah, but she was like, she looked at him and said, your name is Elizabeth. I felt so bad for this kid, man. Oh gosh, woo. Did you write this? That is not. Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you write this? That is not your name, Parker. That is not your. That's the name that your father gave you. Your name is Marilyn. Thank you so much. Your name is Marilyn. It's been a while since I've watched the Insidious movies. They're good, man. They're really good. What made the first two films stand out was that unique take on horror, and probably my favorite part of the two films, and the soundtrack so bone-chilling. Yeah, of course, it's Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Of course, yeah, that was iconic. The Insidious movies made that song iconic. That little moment in the first Insidious where she's outside taking the trash out. She looks back at the house and sees that little boy who's like dressed in 30s clothes dancing in the living room. Makes my hair stand up. It is the subtle shit like that, and then when she walked by one of the window panels, and then he's automatically gone, and she goes back into the house, and then sees him run down the hallway. Yeah, okay. That scene, moments like that scare me more than the jump scares, than the Parker moment. Like the whole "don't you dare" and smacks the mom. Moments like the little kid dancing in the first one, and then running down the hallway, and then coming out of the shoe shelf, and then running down the hallway again, and just disappearing. All you hear is laughing, running through the house. It's moments like that that really make me unsettled. Yeah, it's such a fantastic scene. So when we go into the first Insidious movie, I can say without a doubt that I do hold it up there as being one of the more modern day classics. It's up there with the first Conjuring film, if not even neck and neck with the first Conjuring movie. It has a lot of rewatchability to it, in my opinion. I've gone back and I've seen Insidious several times. I can watch it again if I wanted to. I could watch it right now and be okay with it. So yeah, I love the first Insidious. To me, it would probably be probably around a 9 out of 10. I really find it to be a well-made movie, and I do like the style. I like the over-the-top feel to it that it has, that the Further has. When you enter the Further, it's almost like you've entered a different reality, that's kind of the point. But it's not even just with the look of the overall world. It's how the camera works. It's how the people like smile at each other. Everything about it is so different. And I think it works on every level. Even the music behind the Further, it works so well. It all works well, and that's because of James Wan. He goes for it. He has creative ideas, and he just goes with it. And you got to respect that, especially in a world where everything is so cliched and so just the same. He really knows how to be creative with his scares and his horror. I appreciate him about that. I really appreciate it. Just remember, there is no basement in the Alamo. Oh yeah. Was that a reference to Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Another movie I deeply love. Can we get James Wan to direct a Pee-wee movie? Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Happy 420, everybody. Yeah, happy 420. Hey, hey man, I love the Insidious 5 trailer. Yeah, it was a pretty good trailer. I do think it showed a lot, though, and we'll get into that. We will certainly get into that. And of course, the first Insidious, not only did it introduce the Lady in Black, who would become the main antagonist of the franchise later on, basically, because then she was like in part 2 and part 3. Even made a cameo in part 3, yeah. I think probably the demon that everybody remembers alongside the woman and the lady in black was, of course, the lipstick face demon, who was, of course, terrifying. His scariest moment to me was actually one of the scenes that people find more funny, which is where he comes across Dalton in this demonic realm, right? He comes across Dalton and he's chained to this bed, and he all of a sudden looks up and he sees this demon shining his claws and listening to Tiptoe Through the Tulips. It's one of the creepier scenes of the franchise. And then, when he says, the kid looks at his dad, he's looking right at us, and he looks over and he sees that demon just licking the window. Yeah, it's good shit, man. It's good shit. Number 1, Insidious. Insidious Chapter 2 is number 1. 2 is Insidious. 3 is Insidious Chapter 3. 4, Insidious. 4 is Insidious 5, The Red Door. Insidious. Well, we can't say yet. We can't. I don't think we could say if Insidious The Red Door is better than Insidious The Last Key, because it still could arguably be it could be bad. It could be worse for all we know. For all we know, it could be. But hopefully, I'm hoping not. I'm really hoping not, because if it's a bummer, man, I'm going to. I would love to see Lipstick Demon do a rap battle with Darth Maul. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Ranking might change. Yeah, it might change. Yeah, we'll see. Depending on how well. I think it's safe to say, though, that Insidious Part 4 is the worst of the franchise so far. Easily. It without question. It's just a grade below everything else. At least Insidious Chapter 3 was at least kind of, well-paced, and it was tolerable. The villain was kind of creepy when they talked about, the man who can't breathe. But then we get to Insidious Chapter 4, or whatever, The Last Key. And I really felt like the cliches were at its all-time high. It felt like literally a straight sci-fi movie, like something that you would see on Sci-Fi. Something about the effects, too, were just very, like, sci-fi show-esque. I don't know what it was about the movie. It just felt like it was on a lower budget, which it shouldn't have been. I don't know. Everything about Insidious The Last Key really kind of annoyed me. Like, I feel like they really could have gone awesome. It could have been awesome, but... And then the whole thing with the father and everything, as sweet as that was, in some way, still felt undeserved. Like, it didn't feel earned, right? This whole abusive father aspect, how the father was beating her because she would believe that she could see ghosts and stuff, and he didn't want his daughter to be locked up in a psych ward or whatever, and was just abusing her and shit. And then at the end, you're just supposed to kind of accept that this guy was good in the end. I don't know. It was something off about the Insidious movie. I don't know. It really didn't work for me. Where can I watch Insidious? I don't know. Honestly, I did not like Elise's father. He was so mean. He was kind of a dickhead. Yeah. Can you go back and read my comment? Yes, Mr. Ink, I can. The shot where Parker was in a hospital bed and I think Dawson walked to the heart monitor. Yeah. It wasn't. Was that his name, Dawson? I thought it was Joshua. No, it was Joshua who walked up to the bed and he grabbed him. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that scared the shit out of you. Yeah, I wouldn't fucking doubt it. Yeah, what's worser film, Jordan? Insidious 4 or The Nun? Insidious 4. The Nun, at least, it was kind of fun in some retrospects. Insidious 4 to me was just kind of forgettable and lame. I really did not like it. I really, if I had to be honest with you. Yeah, the whole Elise father thing, that's why I felt like the origin story kind of aspect was pointless. It didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't all that great. The villain was kind of cool, how he had like fingers as keys and stuff, and he could take away your voice and everything. That was kind of cool. I liked that. But the movie, it was a cool villain in a bad movie. And it made him forgettable all around. I kind of like the addition of Bruce Davidson from Willard as Elise's brother was a good... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, if you had to ask me which is worse, Insidious 4 or Annabelle, I would say Annabelle. Annabelle is a worse movie than Insidious 4, in my opinion. At least Insidious 4 was somewhat kind of watchable, in a sense. But Annabelle is so boring. I didn't like 4, but I do love Kirk Acevedo. He played a good bad guy. Was that... Here, let me go ahead and look that name up. I'm going to go ahead and look him up really quick. Fuck, I don't want to go to Wikipedia. I want IMDb. Ted Garza. I forget him. I think I remember him. I kind of forget him, though. But I do know who he is. Well, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, he was Ted. Yeah, I completely forgot that he was even in the movie. Gosh, I need to watch that movie again because I haven't watched it in a while. How many horror films besides Insidious have a ghost or entity referred to as a lady in black or woman in black? Several. There's several movies. Of course, the Woman in Black. And, of course, Insidious movies. There's always... It wasn't there one... No, it was Lady in White. Lady in White was the movie, not... it wasn't Woman in Black. The Bride in Black is the creepiest demon, in my opinion, in the franchise. I wouldn't even say she was a demon. I would just say that she was an evil, disturbed spirit who wanted life. Wanted to have another chance at life because he was robbed of his childhood. And he saw Joshua at the hospital and wanted to be him because he knew he was dying. He wanted to have his life. He wanted to be a boy. He wanted to actually have a childhood. His mom took it away from him. So that's why he was just full of... When you start thinking about the movies, man, they are dark. The movies are so dark. He went around, I think, killing women. Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, the lady in Lady in Black went around. Yeah, the Bride in Black. Bride in Black is what the name of the woman was. Gosh, I keep saying Lady in Black. Bride in Black went around and killed women. Talking about these movies wants me to rewatch them again. I really want to rewatch them too because I really do feel like they are solid movies. They are good movies. Oh, well. Parts 1, 2, 3, I'll say, are solid movies. Parts 1 and 2 are fantastic movies, but especially back to back. They work very well together. The third movie was good. It was good. I think the demon in the first one is creepier than the Bride in Black. He's a creepy looking fucking demon. You can't argue it. There was also that one in the trench coat who kind of was like walking outside the window and then he came through the wall and scared the hell out of the wife or was standing behind the baby. He was kind of creepy too. I don't think he was as creepy or as memorable as, of course, the demon. Lipstick face. But pretty effective. Key Face was cool. He was a cool looking demon. He had a cool thing about him. The man who can't breathe, I think, was the guy's name in the third movie, right? The man who can't breathe. Insidious Chapter 3 was the man who can't breathe, I want to say. He was cool. He was fine. He worked for what was needed, right? Bride in Black was also in part 3. The man who can't breathe, yeah. Michael Reed McKay played him. And he went on to play... He played the Mummy in Monster Squad. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Ew, I hate the trench coat one. He looks like a picture I got of a ghost a while back. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. But literally the two best villains in the franchise, I think they're going to finally end the lipstick face demon because, of course, they kind of left him. He really went nowhere. I think it was at the end of Insidious Chapter 3, or was it the last key where he made an appearance again? It might have been the last key when he, popped up out of the shadows behind Elise. And it looked kind of fake, like he really wasn't there. But, yeah, he popped up there, and people were like, oh, he's coming back. And then finally they're coming out with the new Insidious, which he is coming back. I'm not sure how much of a role Elise is going to play. I think it's about time we finally... That's one of the things I think should happen in the newest Insidious movie. If they really are going to end the saga... They need to end they need to end this family at least. That's the least they can do. If they're going to promise an ending, they need to at least end the family with the Lamberts. And I really think they're already hinting at Patrick Wilson's death, Joshua's death, which if that's the case, that's a good way to take it, I guess. But I think we're going to finally get an end to the demon in this movie. We're going to finally get an end to him. I'm going to head to bed. It was really fun hopping on stream. All right, Mr. Ink, thank you so much for hopping on in. Talking about these movies once again. This is how you die. Not today, it isn't. But yeah, I wonder how many... Insidious, obviously the first one's winning the poll. The actor who portrayed Lipstick Demon was the same guy who believed, yep, he did the Ram Demon of the Conjuring films. No, he did, he played Bathsheba Sherman too, I think. I think that's who it is. I really... Insidious. I know who it is, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up anyways, because I'm struggling with names. He does a really good job at playing really cool, creepy characters. But yeah, he played Bath movie. Joseph Bishara. Joseph Bashara played Bathsheba Sherman and the lipstick face demon. He also he also does the scores for these movies too. So it's not even just he's acting. He also does the scores for every like one of James Wan's movies, which is cool. Most of them, well, most of the haunted house ones. Black Does. He played demonic figure in Annabelle. Yep, he played Annabelle Creation. He played the Annabelle demon too. Pretty cool. I feel like the story could have ended 2 movies ago, but I do look forward to the new one. Yeah, I feel like it could have ended too, but, you know. Not sure how much longer I will last. I got an early doctor's appointment. I will stay as long as possible. Don't worry about it, man. If you have a doctor's appointment, I don't blame you. Go ahead and end the live stream for yourself. I don't blame you, man. I've recently watched all the Insidious movies to be prepared for the Insidious 5 this summer. Yeah, it's crazy it's already coming out this summer. It's making me really excited. I don't know if I'm reaching out here or not, but I would love to see Slender Man enter the Insidious franchise. I don't know why. He kind of feels like he would belong in that kind of world. Yeah, I'm going to hit the hay. Good night, everybody. All right, Harley. Thank you for joining. Have a great night. Who played Valak the Demon Nun? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, Conjuring 2 is right here, so maybe I can click on that. I know the name, it's just not coming to my mind right away. Bonnie Aarons. Bonnie Aarons plays the nun. Valak, I should say. It'd be kind of cool to see her get a role in the Insidious franchise at some point. She could probably pull off a really creepy character. I just really hope they don't try to mix the two. I don't want to see a Conjuring meets Insidious film because then it would just take away a lot from the Conjuring franchise. I mean, the Conjuring franchise, in a sense, is based on true events, and I feel like shit with the Conjuring franchise, it really is gonna... Bonnie is such a talent. She was a judge for Dragula as well. No kidding. Hey there, Jason. How you doing, man? Will Tucker and Specs be in Insidious 5 even though when they were not in the trailer? I don't know. I feel like they're probably going to try to step away from those guys a bit. I think this is more about the family than it is the ghost hunters. I think this is a battle they have to kind of face themselves, and that's kind of... I think that's why they hinted at Elise being on a video camera or like a tape instead of actually being there. I think, well, she, you know, knows without spoiling anything, you know, obviously reason why she can't be there, but yeah, I think they're really probably going to try to avoid that, and I think that's probably for the best. I feel like they don't have to be in every Insidious film. I wish Valak was taken more seriously, given the fact that the demon itself is actually a real demon, not the nun demon, but yeah, he wasn't really supposed to be a nun. I don't know. The reason why they went with a nun was because James Wan was like, you know what kind of creeps me out and people out? Nuns. They're kind of creepy. Let's make a creepy one, and let's give him a real demon name. But yeah, Valak is a real demon. And I'm pretty sure the demon of Valak is actually to be described as like a little boy. Yeah, let me go ahead and tell you the description of Valak. He is depicted as a 2-headed dragon that can fuse to make an even bigger dragon. He appears again in Bloodstained Ritual at the Night. Valak has appeared in the Sea of Shadow. Fuck, no. Nope. Yeah, go ahead, Valak. Not the Conjuring universe, Valak. Thank you very much. It's like a boy who is riding a 2-headed dragon. Yeah, a little boy who rides a 2-headed dragon. That's the demon of Valak. That's at least the image that I'm looking at right now. Pretty creepy looking shit, honestly. What are your thoughts on the Insidious and Sinister crossing over and Sinister? Sinister, that's not a bad name, actually, and Sinister. I don't think everything needs to connect. I don't. I know a lot of people really want them to connect and everything has to connect now. Like, they're already talking about making a Super Smash Bros. Movie because the Mario movie is doing so well. And I'm just sitting here like, why does everything need to connect now? Why does everything have to have a cinematic universe? It makes no sense to me why everything just needs to have it. I don't... Because I think once you start having like connected universes and stuff, everybody's going to expect those characters in every one of the films. And then it becomes too combobulated with a whole bunch of different shit that doesn't need to be. I want simple, scary movies. I don't need fucking a moment of the, whatever his name is, the boogeyman character from the Sinister movies running in the background of these Insidious movies, and I'm not, oh, there he is. I don't need that. I just don't. I don't think it's necessary. Did you like hearing Tiptoe Through the Window? Oh yeah, that's a good throwback. Yeah, again, Insidious made that song popular. I didn't even know what that song was until Insidious, to be honest. They called Thomas Ian Griffith from Karate Kid 3 Valak when he was in John Carpenter's Vampires. Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Wow. That's another movie I haven't seen in a good minute. We have 22 people watching right now, and you have not hit that like button. Do me a solid, guys. Hit the like button. It helps out the algorithm. More people will see the video if you guys hit that like button, so please do so. It takes about a second to do. Go down below and hit that thumbs up. And it really helps out a lot, guys. I seriously appreciate it. Insidious Chapter 3. That we talked about Insidious Chapter 1 and Insidious Chapter 2. I feel like Insidious Chapter 2 really kind of took a Shining vibe to it, where the guy kind of lost his mind. I mean, he really did play a good crazy person. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm the same. I did not know that song until Insidious movies. I always call Valak's sister Mary scary. She would really discipline all the misbehaving kids in the Catholic school. Imagine John Carpenter directing an Insidious movie. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, it would. I would love to see it. I'd love to see John Carpenter direct anything one more time, to be honest with you. He hasn't touched a movie in a long time. Here's how I rank the Insidious movies: 2, 1, 3, and 4. That's actually my ranking, too. I would have it that way, too. Let John rest. He's earned it. I get it. I get it. I'm not saying he hasn't earned it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'd say this though. If he ever did come back to direct one more movie, I would scream to the heavens, hallelujah, because that would be amazing. I'd be so excited. Last movie John Carpenter made was The Ward with Amber Heard. Yeah. Yep, it was. I actually saw that movie and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like great. It wasn't easily. It wasn't in his top 5 or 10 even, but it's fine for what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody would be jumping up with glee if John Carpenter announced tomorrow that, oh, by the way, guys, I decided I'm going to make another movie. Woo! Hell yeah. I wish Wes Craven was alive today, man. I would love to see him get back into it. I think the last movie he made was either Scream 4 or it was My Soul to Take. I can't necessarily remember. But man, I miss that guy. I miss him so much. Wes Craven. I would love to have seen Wes Craven take on an Insidious movie. Him probably more so than Carpenter. Wes Craven would have been a fantastic choice to do an Insidious movie. I'd give anything to bring back John Carpenter's Body Bags for a series like Creepshow was made for a series. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. No, hold up. Wait a minute, Jordan. Insidious 4 is the greatest horror film of all time. Nah, JK. Last time I checked, it was 4/20 and not April 1st. Who is your favorite Insidious character? My favorite character from Insidious? Probably the Bride in Black. Really unsettling character. Yeah, I would say the Bride in Black. And actually had a really kind of neat backstory, too. It wasn't like just some typical ghost that was after. It was like a really terrifying and unsettling backstory. Really added a lot of tension. All right, Tom, have a good night, man. Thank you so much for hopping on in and checking out the live stream. What about you guys? Who's your favorite Insidious character? You know what I'm going to do really quick? I'm going to share this with a Insidious fan group. I'm sure they're out there. Let me see if I can find an Insidious fan group really quick. You guys keep chatting away, though. I'm just doing this really quick. There we go. Bear with me for just a second, folks. I'm not trying to ignore you. Okay, there's not a whole lot I can do. All right. Getting back to the live stream now. All right. I don't know their names, but the paranormal investigators guys, Specs and... Oh, fuck. Specs and who else? Someone just said their names not too long ago. Tucker. Wasn't it Tucker? Specs and Tucker? I would say Elise because she has helped so many people get rid of their demons. Absolutely. Yep, she's a great character. Lynn Shay's always a good talent to have, though. Though I feel like most of the movies she's in are very underwhelming. It's almost like she says yes to everything, which I don't get excited when I see her face on other horror films because just I know she's just going to say yes to it, and it's probably not even that great of a movie. But she's fantastic in the Insidious franchise. Easily probably her best performance. Tiptoe Through the Tulips is an old song, goes back to the 1920s. It is a standard. It had a revival during the early 70s with Tiny Tim performed it on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. That's awesome. When you turn 27 on July, you would be the same age when Steven Spielberg directed Jaws. Ooh, that's a fun thing right there. That's neat to know. Yeah, true, but she's got to make the to bank. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She's got to make bank. No question. No question. Though she probably has made a lot of bank, especially with the Insidious franchise. The Insidious franchise is so freaking popular. What's up, Carolyn? Thank you so much for making it. Glad to see you made it. Did YouTube just notify you? YouTube really didn't notify a whole lot of people today. Most people are probably working. I think it's Thursday night, so... No, I was sleeping. Okay. Well, good morning. Specs and Tucker sound like a show about police partners or detective series. I think they were going to make like a series for them at one point. But yeah, some of the things I think Insidious 5 should do as a film, it needs to end the whole Lambert storyline. I think it's about time. They've been around for a while. Finally, we're getting into them. But if this is the last one, they really should stick to their guns and make it the last one. When it comes to the Lamberts, at least. And I think Lipstick Face Demon, probably make it the end for him, too. End that character. Get that whole saga finished. And then I would start worrying about... Because, you know, the movie's going to make a buttload of money. It's not like we're not going to ever get another Insidious movie. It's going to make a lot of money. And it's going to make... They're going to make another one. Because the movies, I don't think, cost a whole lot to make. And they bring in so much money. So, yeah, those, I think, are some of the more important things to worry about, ending the Lambert series. And then I would also probably go ahead, and I think Elise and all of them are probably to how all the films are going to connect in some way. Elise and, you know, Tucker and Specs. I had a doctor appointment today, and my surgery's on Monday. I am tired. I have no doubt, you know, keep doing what you got to do, but I have no doubt that you're tired, yeah. Is this quote scary to you? It's not the house that's haunted, it's your son. Yeah, that's terrifying to me. Could you imagine being told that to your face? Yeah, your house isn't haunted, it's your kid who's being haunted. And imagine being told that there's a demon so close to him right now that the demon might actually possess his body. Oh, that'd be terrifying. Oh, I highly recommend watching at least number 2. At least number 2, Carolyn. I have been told that to my face. What? Yeah. I always get my notifications for you on Messenger, not YouTube. I never get any notifications from your channel on YouTube. Yeah, I normally try to make it a thing to at least notify everybody on Facebook and everything. Because it never does it, and it sucks. I expect too much, I suppose. Almost 20 likes. Hell yeah. The demon in the corner freaked me out. I couldn't sleep. The second one really is also pretty... I'd say it's just as creepy as the first one in a lot of aspects. What Insidious movie scared you the most? Probably the second movie. The second movie really freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. Did my envelope arrive yet? I did not see an envelope, Philip. To be honest with you, man, I went down there the other day and I checked it and I didn't see an envelope. I was gonna mention that actually. I'm glad you reminded me. Hey, MDG, what's up? Hola, VVV, how are you doing? I'd love to see that you're a member. Thank you for becoming members, by the way, guys. It really means a lot. I'm hoping to at least do some paranormal investigating in the future someday, and or just more original content for you guys that I don't have to worry about doing reaction as much. I'm obviously going to keep doing reactions. That's what this channel is all about. But still, I want to make my own original content someday, and I'm hoping to hit the goals so I can start doing that. Hey, happy 420, MDG. Thank you so much for the support, man. Glad to see that you made it. And by the way, if you're just jumping on in, hit that like button. It means a lot. We're almost 20 likes. I know we can do it because I know there's more people watching. We have 26 votes on that voting thing right now and 17 likes on the live stream. Guys, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Slay it. I hope I had the corrected. Could you put it up again? Yes, my address is PO. I mean, it's in the description of the live stream too, I'm pretty sure. PO Box 379, Leesburg, Ohio 45135. PO Box 379, Leesburg, Ohio 45135 is my address. I was gifted the membership. Very thankful. Oh, yep. Adam gifted it to you, which was very sweet of him. Smash that like button. Yeah, stop thinking about it. Just do it. Any suggestions for horror movies on 420? I know there's The Evil Bong, Leprechaun in the Hood, already seen, Idle Hands. Yeah, it's a good question. 420 movie. Freddy vs. Jason was another one that people were recommending a lot of. Of course, you had the Leprechaun in the Hood movies. I saw a post earlier. Now I'm like struggling to think of it. Friday the 13th remake. There's like some potheads in that movie. Hey, I got a new character next to my name was a zombie. Now it's an alien. Oh, because you've been a member for a while. Yeah, it changes. Yeah, you've been a member for probably. I think that might be the 10-month one. Maybe. Well, no, way more than that. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Thank you so much. Tales from the Hood. There you go. Seen Freddy vs. Jason. Yep, seen it. Yep. Go watch Insidious High. Yeah. Tell me how that goes for you. Scary Movie 2. There you go. Scary Movie. Scary Movie 1 and 2. Yep. When the giant tree smokes Shorty, I think is his name. I mean, it's not really a scary movie, but all scary movies are funny to watch. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, Tales from the Hood. There you go. You got one. I've never seen Tales from the Hood, so y'all tell me how it is. I am high on pain meds. Does that count? I mean, yeah. I can't think of any off the top of my head, to be honest with you. Not a lot of 420 movies. Not coming to my mind. Hell House would probably be petrifying while high. Do not watch horror movies while high. Trust me, I did that with the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Big mistake. Yeah, you should probably watch Alice in Wonderland. Alice Through the Looking Glass when you're high. Oh, speaking of scary movie, was Reefer Madness, the original is It's Horrible is Good, a true cult classic. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think I've Madness the original. Okay. Reefer Madness. Bride of Chucky would be another one. Seed of Chucky, maybe. I like watching most horror movies while smoking, but I really get creeped out off of found footage movies. I start to think they were real. I don't get high, honestly, but it's your thing. Go ahead, yeah. I don't get high myself. I mean, I have like a drink occasionally, but I don't personally get high. I was so fucked up after that. Now I gotta take edible, take a bubble bath instead. I've never been high though, in my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Might be like a first time thing at some point, I guess. Yep, today is a holiday for weed. Refer Madness. The OG was bad. It's all good. It's good. They did a musical based on it. These pain meds though can keep me seriously loopy though. To be clear, I get high if I'm in pain because I do have chronic pain. Understandable. Understandable. Is it dangerous to drive while high? Probably. Probably. Though I've heard some people say it's like makes them drive better for some reason. I hate that I need them, but I can't handle the pain. No, it's understandable. I get it. Yeah, it's very illegal. That is right. Under the influence of anything is illegal. Yeah, I highly recommend staying away from that myself. If you get the chance, watch Mandy Eye. The only drugs I take are my blood pressure, MRD. Hey. All right, guys. Well, I think this is a good probably stopping point for the live stream. It's going on close to 1 in the morning right now, so I think we've talked about the Insidious franchise quite a bit. This was a lot of fun actually talking to you guys about it. I was really curious to see what you guys would think. But it is getting late. I'm kind of getting tired. I'm trying to lay off the coffee as much, so I'm gonna try to just probably go ahead and go to bed at this rate. I think I'm gonna probably just go ahead and go to bed. And yeah, I'll be going live tomorrow probably, so you'll see me tomorrow. Probably for a 2-hour live stream. I'll probably try to go 2 hours. I've actually thought about trying to do a gaming live stream on Twitch here soon. So be on the lookout for that, of course. And again, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, like, everything like that. You know, if you had not become a member and you want to see this channel continue after 2025, highly recommend becoming a member. It hopefully ensures that someday I'll make original content. So if you're all for that, then definitely support me. So yeah, I hope you all have a great night. It was fun chatting Insidious with you, and I hope you guys take care. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, guys, take care.